everyone, welcome back to Success Care 24. So today we will solve the remaining questions from our previous session, isn't it? So we have solved till now 10 questions in our previous session, and we will solve the remaining questions from question number 11 we will solve today. Okay, so further delay, let's get back to the question. So first question is, question number 11 is given as in an election, is it visible? Fine. Okay, so it is given as in an election between two candidates A and B, A got 33% of total votes cast and still lost by 55,522 votes. Find the total number of votes got by B. Okay, so this is one of the important question because most of the time this type of question is asked in question, and it has asked in a CHSL exam. Okay, so let's do. First, there are two candidates in an election, A and B, and A got how much? 33% of vote. So if A got 33% of vote, that means upon 100, if my total vote is 100, then A will get 33 votes. Then how much would B get? So B would get 100% minus of 33%, because I have considered my total votes to be 100%, isn't it? So if total votes is 100% and A got 33%, then B will get this much of vote. So it would be 67% of vote. So A got 33% vote and B got 67% of vote. Now, what is given in the question? It is given that A lost the election by 55,522 votes. That means A lost the election. That means B gets more votes than A, isn't it? Another way of understanding this line, is that since A lost the election by 55,522 votes, that means B gets 55,522 more votes than A. Another way of understanding the line is this. That means how much is more B than A? So B is more than A by, so according to the question, B minus A must be equal to how much? 5. This, isn't it? Because it is said that A lost the election by 55,522 votes, and another way of understanding this line is that B got this much vote more than A. So according to question, B minus A must be this. Now B minus A is how much? 67% minus of 34%. No, 33% is there. 33% is equal to 55,522. So from here, it is 34% must be equal to this. That means from the equation we have got 34% of the votes is actually equal to this much number of actual votes. Then if 34% is equal to this, you are asked to find the number of votes got by A, and the number of votes got by A is how much? 67%. So from here we can find out how much votes is in 1%. So in 1% we have this divided by 34. You do the calculation, 34%. So from here, if I do the required calculation, if I cancel it out by 2, so 17, and then 2 2s are 4, 1 5, 2 7, then 1 5 again, 2 7, 1 2 6, and then this. Again, if I can I cancel it out with 17? Let us check if I can cancel it out with 17 or not. So if I cancel it out with 17, 17 1. 17 1s are 17, so I would have 107. 17 6s are 102. So 5 and 6, again 17 3s are 51. So 5 and 1, yes, 1633. So 1% votes means actually 1633 votes. Okay, so this is the 1% vote is equal to 1633 votes. Is it okay? 17 1s are, and then 17 6s are, fine, and then 17 3s are, yes, correct. So if 1% votes is equal to 1633, then I need to find out how much votes got by B, and the votes got by B is 67%. Then if 1% is equal to your 1633, then your 67% would be how much? 67% into 1633. So do the calculation, you will get the answer. So if I do the calculation, 1633 into 67, I would get 1. Okay, do the calculation by yourself. So 1 0, okay, this was 2 na, yes, 2 1 0, then 109201, 109201. No, there are no such option. Maybe there are some calculation mistake. Let us do from first. Is it okay? B minus A is this, yes, this, and from here 67% minus 33% would give you this. So 34% is this, so 1% is this by this. So if I cancel it out with 2, I would get 2 2s are 4, 1 5 2 7, then again 2 7, then 6, and this. Okay, fine. 17 1s are 17, so 10 107, so 6 would give you 102. So 5 6 15 3s, 17 3s are 51, and 5 1 again. Okay, fine. So 1% value is 1633, then 34%, no, not 34%, 67%, because B got 67% of vote. So 67% into 1633. So if I do the calculation, 1633 and 67, so so 1, okay, and 1 1, yes, 9, and every time the answer is different. Why? Is there any mistake? You do the multiplication correct, huh? 55522, 55522, 34% is this, so 1 by 270, 17 2s are this, and 2 2. Let us do again. Then 17 1s are 2, 2 7 7 6, and calculation are longer na. So 17 1s are 17, after that 0 1 7, 17 6 are 102, then here we have 5 6 17, 17 3s are 51, and 5 1 17 3s are 51, 1633. This is correct. This is correct. Till now, till here, this is correct. Now 1% is this, then 67% is. So 67% would be 67 into 10, 1633 multiplied by 7. Okay, fine. So 1, yes, then yes, 109411, 10, yes, option number 4. I was doing mistake in the calculation only. Okay, do the calculation correct, but the process is this only. Okay, process is this. So answer would be option number 4. Done. Okay, let's move to the next question. So question number 12. If the price of an article is raised by 35%, by how much percent must a householder reduce his consumption of that article so as not to increase his expenditure? So here is an important concept here to be learned. So what is the important concept? That means price, expenditure is how much? Expenditure is nothing but price into consumption. We know that expenditure is price into consumption. So you need to have that basic concept that we know expenditure is total expenditure is your price into consumption. Now here it is said that not to increase his expenditure. That means there is no increase or decrease in expenditure. That means the expenditure must be constant. So if the expenditure is constant, then price would be inversely proportional to consumption, isn't it? So this is the basic formula to do such question. We know expenditure is nothing but the price into consumption. What is the price and how much quantity you are consuming. Now it is said that the expenditure should not increase. That means the expenditure should remain constant. Whatever is the expenditure before and the expenditure now should be same. So if the expenditure must be constant, then I can say price is inversely proportional to consumption. Inversely proportional meaning when one quantity increases and the other quantity decreases. So if one quantity increases and the other quantity decreases, then these two quantities are said to be inversely proportional to each other. And if with increase in one quantity, the other quantity also increases, or with decrease in one quantity, the other quantity also decreases, then we will say that these two quantities are directly proportional. Okay, inversely proportional means if with increase in one quantity, the other quantity decreases, then we say these two quantities are indirectly proportional. Okay, inversely proportional. So price would be inversely proportional to consumption. That means if I increase my price, my consumption would reduce, and if I reduce my price, my consumption would increase. So this is the basic concept or basic formula to answer this question. Now how to answer this question? Okay, the price of the article is raised by 35%. That means if my initial price was 100, new price is how much? 135, because upon 100, 35 number is increased. So if my price is 100, then new price would be 135 because I have increased it by 35%. Now since I have increased my price, I need to reduce my consumption, isn't it? So if I reduce my consumption and my expenditure should remain constant, that means my consumption was before 135 because my price was 100 and price and consumption are inversely proportional to each other. So if my price was 100, the consumption would be 135. Now since my price increases from 100 to 135, my new consumption would be reduced to 135 to 100. So this is the basic concept to answer this question. Okay, to maintain the expenditure constant, price and consumption must be inversely proportional. So if my price increase, my consumption would reduce. So this is my previous consumption and this is my new consumption. Now it is asked to find out how much percent must be reduced. So I need to find out the reduced percent. So how much is the reduced consumption? 35 is the percentage of reduced consumption is how much is decreased? 35 number is decreased. Upon what? Upon the original value. Original value is your 135 because your original consumption was 135. So your original consumption was 135 and upon that now your consumption is 100. That means 35 number gets reduced. So reduced consumption is 35 by 135 into 100% because you need to find the percentage. So into 100%. So if I do the calculation, then 7 by 27. So reduced percentage of reduced consumption is 7 by 27 into 100%. So if you do 7 by 27, 700 by 27, na? 700 by 27%. So options are what? Options are this, 25 this, So everywhere there is 25 into 27. So if I do 25 into 27, how will I get? How much would I get? So I would get 675 I would get. So answer would be C. So the percentage would be 25 raised to 25 by 27%. Okay, so I have converted this improper fraction to mixed fraction because answer is in mixed fraction. So I have converted this improper fraction to mixed fraction, and the answer would be 25 raised to 25 by 27%. Okay, you know now how to convert an improper fraction to mixed fraction. Do you know that? Okay, let us give an example. So if let us consider you have improper fraction. Improper fraction are what? When the numerator is greater than denominator. So when numerator is greater than denominator, we call this as an improper fraction. Remember that, improper fraction. Now let us consider an example how to convert an improper fraction to mixed fraction. Mixed fraction is that you have one integer value and one fraction value, and combining these two we will get a mixed fraction. Okay, so let us consider 7 by 2. So this is an improper fraction because numerator value is greater than your denominator value. Now how to convert this into a mixed fraction? You divide the 7 by 2. So how much? 2 3s are 6 and 1 is remaining. So how to write this as a mixed fraction? So I have divided 7 by 2, so I will write 2 in my denominator. And what is the quotient? Quotient is 3. I will write the quotient here. And what is the remainder? Remainder is 1. So I will write the remainder in numerator. So this is how you write an improper fraction in a mixed fraction. Okay, so this is the way, and using this way I have converted 70/100 by 27% to 25 raised to 25 by 27. Okay, fine. So let's move to the next question. Okay, the population of the city was this. So you are given that the population of city was this in 2020. The population grows by 7.5% annually. So after every year it gets increased by 7.5%. The population in 2022 is, so after 2 years. So population given in the year 2020 and you are asked to find the population in 2022. So within 2 years how much population get increased, we need to find that. Okay, let's do. So in the first year, after first year, increase is how much? 7.5%. So in 5,000, how much is the value? 1 2 3 4 5 6. In 50 lakhs, 7.5% has increased. So how much is the increased value? Increased value after 1 year. So increased value after 1 year is this. So if I do the calculation, I would get so from here 75 into 5 would give you 37. So 37,0,0,0,0. There is a decimal point. Okay, so 33,75,000 would increase after 1 year because my increase value is this. So if after every year the population grows by 7.5%, then the increase value would be 50 lakhs into 7.5%. So from here I would get my value as 3,75,000. So after 1 year the population is increased by 3,75,000. So after 1 year the new population is now what? 50 lakhs plus 3,75,000. Add this to, you will get 0, 0, 0, 75 and 53. So after 1 year your new population is 53 lakhs. Your new population is 53 lakhs 75,000. Okay, so after 1 year. Now I need to find out again the another year because you are asked to find after 2 year population. So after 2 year the population is again increasing by 7.5%. So if this is so if I increase my value, now I have to increase my value on what? New population, because after 1 year my population become 53,75,000. So I need to increase 7.5% on this value now. So after another year, increased value is what is my new population now? It is 53,75,000 into 7.5 by 100. So if I do the calculation, okay, do the calculation, do the multiplication are longer, so you need to work on your multiplication process. So 7.5, so from here 0, so 0 and so if I do this 0, 5, so 4 lakhs this. So increased value is what? 401125, because there is a decimal point, so the 0 would get cancelled. So my increased value would be this. So if my increased value is this now, so after another year, the population would be how much? After 1 year, population is 53,75,000 plus now 4,01,125. So if I add this 125, then 4, 6, 7, 7, 5. So if there is any option, 57, yes, 57, 7, 6, 1, 2, 5, 7, 6, no, it must be 7, 8. This should be 8, 25. So I think you do the calculation, because it is more easier to do the calculation in paper than in board. So you do the calculation. I think option 1 would be the correct one, because almost this value has come. Okay, here is 8, here must be 8, otherwise all other numbers are same. So I think option number 1 would be the correct answer. You know the process, you know how to do it, just do the calculation by yourself. Okay, so option number 1 would be the correct answer. Okay, let's do question number 14. So question number 14 is given as, in an election, a candidate secured 41% of the votes polled and lost the election by this. What is the number of votes obtained by the winning candidate? Same question I have done already. Okay, in a previous question that it has two candidates A and B, and A got 33% of vote, B got this much of vote. So we have already done this type of question. So I have leave it to you. You solve this question number 14 and answer me in the comment box. Okay, so this is for you to solve, because I have already discussed how to solve such type of question. So please do that question and answer me in the comment box. Okay, this is your homework. All right, so now let's move to question number 15. So question number 15 is given as, Sumit's income is in 2020 was this. He gets an increment of 10% every year. What was his income in 2022? Same question. Okay, already we have done this question. I think question number 13 was this, like this, same type. 2 year of duration, isn't it? Population, Sumit's income in 2020 is given, and Sumit's income in 2022 is asked to find. Same. In 13, question number 13, you were given the population in 2020 and asked to find the population in 2022. And in this question, you were given the income in 2020 and asked to find the income in 2022. Same question, same times. But let us teach you a short trick here. The short trick here is, when there is a question that 10% every year, so there is an increment of 10% every year. So if there are question that is given as 10% increase first then 10% decrease, or 10% is increasing successively. That means this is a successive case, because in 2022 you have certain income. In 2021 it gets increased by 10%, and then again in 2022 it gets again increased by 10%. That means there is an increment. What increment? There is a successive increment, one after another. So these types are called successive increment or successive decrement. Okay, successive increase or successive decrease, because the increment is not in a straight way, but one after another, one after another. If there is an increment one after another, or if there is a decrement one after another, or you can also say, it can also be said that first is increase and in the next year it gets decreased, or first it is decreased, in the next year it gets increased. So what was happening here? The things were happening here successively. So this is a successive case. So for successive case we can use the formula. For successive case, the formula is plus of x plus of y percent plus of, you can say plus minus. Plus would represent increment, minus would represent decrease. So plus would give you increase and minus would give you decrease. So plus minus x% plus minus y% plus minus of x plus minus of y divided by 100. So this is the overall formula for successive increase or decrease. Now don't go for the formula, just see how to apply this. Don't go for the formula, just see how to apply this. Okay, you can apply this like this, because you are said that there is a 10% increment every year. Okay, 10% increment every year. Increment means plus. So first year there is plus 10% increment, and in the next year there is 10% increment. So I can use the successive increment formula here. So formula would be, so net increase percentage. So net increase percentage after 2 years. Okay, net increase percentage after 2 years is 10 plus 10. I have not given any sign here because no sign means plus, and there is an increment, so I would consider the plus sign only. So if there would have been a decrement, I would consider here negative. So a negative sign would have come here, but you are said that there is an increment, so there is a positive sign. No sign indicates positive sign. So 10 plus 10 plus 10 into 10 by 100. So this was my formula, and here is also there is a plus, and since there is no sign indicates plus, so I have not put plus sign before. But if there was a decrement, if there would have been a decrement, so I would put a negative sign here. But since it is increase, so I will put only 10 and 10 by 100. So what you get? 10 plus 10, 20, plus 100 by 100 is 1. So 21%. So overall increase, so net increase after 2 years is 21%, not 20%. Okay, because whenever you are given the successive increment, so net increase would be 21%. So you may think that since there is a 10% in the first year and the 10% in the next year, so you may think that the overall increment must be 20%. No, from the formula we have got there is an overall increment of 21%. Okay, using this formula. So now I can directly apply that. So overall increment after 2 years is 21%. So on 21,000 there is an increment of 21% after 2 years. So if I use this, I will get 0. 21 would give you how much? 441. So there is an increment of 4,410. So after 2 years, your income is, what was your income before? 21,000 your income plus 4410. So it would give you 25,420. Option number 2 would be the correct answer. We can also use this formula in question number 13, where you are given the successive increment of 7.5%. You can also use this formula. You use this formula directly and do the question number 13 if the answer is same or not. Okay, so here I have used the formula which is a successive increment formula or successive decrement formula. Okay, because here I have not calculated after every year increment, But in question number 13, I have calculated what is the population after first year, what is the population after next year. But we can skip this calculation by using this successive increment formula. If I know after 2 successive increment, what would be the net increment, overall increment after 2 years. So if I calculate the overall increment after 2 years, then directly I can calculate the value of after 2 years, what would be the answer. Okay, so you can also use this formula in question number 13. So you do and check if the whether the answer is correct or not. So till now we have solved question number 15, and let us leave the other question for the next session. Okay, so from 16, question number 16 we will solve in our next session. So let us practice together, and practicing like this we will solve all 200 questions. Okay, so gear up your preparation and be with us, and also do the comment, like, share and subscribe. Okay, so thanks for the day.